Welcome back for another WARPFORGE 40k Fundamentals video, and in this one we're going to be talking about board control and really how to make best use of your resources to be as efficient as possible and to gain an advantage over your opponent. So without further ado, let's dive on in. Okay, so a key part of WARPFORGE is obviously making maximum use of our resources and trying to be more efficient than our opponent. And this gives us what we call value. So for example, if I'm able to, for one of my cards, kill two of his cards or make him use two of his cards to kill my one card, then that's a really good trade, right? We sometimes call that a 2 for 1. And so what we're trying to do is be as efficient as we possibly can. Now, on the first, we're going first in this game here, so we're going to play our firstborn out for 2 energy. So we're making a really nice use of our energy, really smooth. And actually, the Ultramarines have an ability called Codex, which means that if they do spend all of their energy, they get a special ability that just dealt 1 damage to the random enemy. So we're making maximum use of our energy expenditure, and we're gaining control of the board there. We've played a 3 health unit, so we know that our enemy warlord Grook can't trade with his 2 damage and kill our 3 health unit. So now the other question is, what do we do with our warlord? Remember, in WARPFORGE, unlike games like Hearthstone where the heroes can't attack every turn unless they've sort of got a weapon equipped, in WARPFORGE we can actually attack every single turn because our warlords come as standard with a melee and range attack. So in this situation, because we've developed the board, we're going to actually attack our opponent's warlord with our warlord and try and gain a bit of a tempo advantage. So we can just end turn. Okay, so again, if I want to spend all 3 of my energy this turn, I'm going to actually make use of Tigurius's special ability, or his talent. So we're going to select the Smite ability, which is 1 energy, and that will mean that we can spend our curve perfectly. I'm going to play this on the bigger unit. That does 2 damage. It also triggers his Codex ability. Unfortunately for us, he dealt 1 damage. That is random, and unfortunately it went on Grook as opposed to one of the troops. What this does mean now is that our warlord Tigurius can trade with his slightly bigger troop, which is his Orc Slugger Boy. So we're going to do that, and our 2 melee attack takes out his 1 remaining health. What we're also going to do here is trade one of our troops for his troop, and the reason for that is that if we don't do that, he can actually just take the troop out with his Grook and still have 2 troops on the board. So in this turn we just drop our Primaris Invader because his stats match up reasonably well with the Hornhelm's boy. Okay, so there's lots of ways we can do this. We can use spells from hand to try and remove, and we've also obviously got our Primaris Invader and our Warlord. Now one way we could do this is to drop the Storm Raven, and then we could trade with Tigerius' range attack to finish off the Banner Knob, and that would clear the board and keep our Invader on full health. However, we wouldn't be developing the board with that play. So what we're going to do instead is we can make pretty favourable trades by going with our range attack from Tigerius to kill off the Hornhelm, and then also using the range attack, which is 5 of the Invader, against the Banner Knob. Note the Banner Knob only has 2 range attack, so we still remain fairly healthy, only losing 2 health on the Invader, and this enables us to actually develop the Honor Guard. In this situation, the Honor Guard can attack the Scarboy, and then we can use our point blank shot, which deals 2 damage to an enemy, and if the target draws a card. So we get the advantage of killing off the enemy troop and drawing a card as well. Now if we attack with this for 5 damage on our enemy Warlord, there's a chance that this can't be attacked back because we still have our Vanguard blocking the way for Gruk. Okay, so he takes out a Vanguard and develops quite a large unit, which we absolutely want to get rid of. And what we can do here is make quite efficient use of our Invader. Now our Invader's already traded with 2 units, put 5 damage on Gruk. It's done very, very well in terms of value. And now even though it's only got 1 health, it can still put 5 damage on this huge enemy Mega Knob Ugrak. And the good thing is we've got the point blank shot to finish that unit off so that we don't have to take 5 or 6 damage with Tigerius. So we can hit with the point blank shot and kill the Ugruk, and then we can successfully develop the Aggressor Sergeant to maintain the board advantage. So we're going to take a little bit of a risk here. We're going to use our 2 range attack from our Warlord. It does mean that we take 4 damage, so we're really making use of our life resource to make an efficient trade. And whilst there are lots of other ways in which we could have got rid of that, the main reason for that is that we didn't have a very good proactive unit to play on board other than the Storm Talon, which costs 7 energy. So in order to play that, we couldn't have really played our spells as well. So we basically sacrificed a bit of our personal health to trade the board so that we can have a strong position on board again to trade next turn. Okay, so he's dropped a really big unit there in the battle wagon, so we're going to use our hard removal, our inspired retribution, to destroy an enemy troop. Note that this spell costs 5 energy, and we're destroying a unit that costs 8 energy. So again, when we're thinking about efficient trades, that also we can also think in those ways when we're using spells, right? Because 5 energy to destroy an 8 energy play is a really efficient play and tempo boost for us. So we can kill that nice and easily. We're going to go and hit Gruk in the face with that, and we're also going to develop the board with our Inceptor Sergeant to really put the pressure on If he doesn't deal with this board, now he only has 8 health left. Obviously we've got 3, 9, 10, 11 damage plus spells next turn, so he really needs to do something here. Okay, and so here we go. For style points, we can play the Executioner and destroy this, but ultimately, already on board, we can see that we can end the game now. Because we kept control of the board, we made efficient trades, we were ahead on the board in this turn with 2 units, which can now attack the enemy warlord, who's in lethal range, and finish off the game. So there we have it, guys. Try to use our troops efficiently to make trades that are favourable so that we get the most value out of our cards. That way we can get ahead on board and towards the end of the game essentially overrun our opponent and finish the game off. I hope you found that really helpful and really useful. Go ahead and practice your efficient board control and use of resources, and I'll see you in the next fundamentals video.